All right, time for a Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me all the questions that you have, and we're going to answer them. So, obviously, we're not in the garage today. We are in the basement. So, that's why it looks like a basement. So, first question. Why did you begin with YouTube, and how did it change your life? So, why did I start YouTube? Well, for one, I always made videos. Even before, I've been watching YouTube since like 2006-ish. And then I would say probably since 2009, YouTube has been my main source of entertainment. So I've watched YouTube for so long. And then, of course, like anybody who consumes that much YouTube, it makes you want to do it. But I just never really thought that I could do it, I guess. Like I just had kind of a little doubt. So then about early 2018, I had a regular job, and I absolutely hated it, and I needed like an escape, something else I could do besides this job, because it was just killing me inside going to this job every day. So obviously the dream job for me was YouTube. So I just kind of started taking it a little bit more seriously, and it grew, and here we are, and everything worked out great. And as far as how did it change my life? I mean, it changed everything about my life. It increased my quality of life 1,000-fold. It made everything better. There's like, I mean, I have no complaints. There's nothing. YouTube has done nothing for my life but make it better. So, and that's thanks to you guys. So I have no complaints. What made you hate pickles so much? What made me hate pickles so much? I don't know. I mean, maybe the fact that they're completely disgusting and there's no reason for them and they make no sense and they taste gross. I think that's why I hate them. There's no reason for them. They don't do anything. They serve no purpose. It's just I don't even, what is a cucumber? Is it a fruit? No, it's a vegetable, I think. Or maybe it has seeds. There's something about if it has seeds, it's a fruit or it's a vegetable or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's just a fruit or maybe it's a vegetable that you put into a disgusting liquid called vinegar, and you just let it sit there and just fester and spoil and just like ferment or whatever, and then you take it out and you eat it. How much sense does that make? What other food do we take it, put it inside of a disgusting liquid, let it sit, and then pull it out and eat it? I can't think of a single one besides pickles. They just don't make any sense. And they're gross. So that's that. Do you ever plan on making more survival videos? Example, surviving outside with some gadgets. Well, I never made any survival videos, so I can't make more yet. But I am going to be doing, I think I agreed to a 3-day survival challenge when I hit 1 million subscribers. So at some point, whenever I hit 1 million, that'll happen. My current pace, my current pace of subscriber growth, I'm on pace to hit 1 million in like 2.5 or 3 years or something. I'd have to redo the math, but I think it was like 2.5 years. So I guess unless something crazy happens, in about 2.5 years. Have you ever slept 24 hours? I just did. That sounds like a severe medical condition, and you should probably get checked out. I have never slept for 24 hours. I think I've slept I've definitely slept for like 12 hours before. Um, I've been awake for 24 hours multiple times, but I've never slept for 24 hours. If I was you, I would most definitely get that checked out. How much money do you get? How much money do you need to get paid to completely shave off your beard? See, I've thought about this before. So I want to say, I want to go big and say $1 million because you got to factor in taxes. So whatever the amount would be, the government's going to steal half of it. So if I got $1 million, I'd really only get 500,000. But so I want to say $1 million, but I think if I was offered 500,000, I think I would do it. So I think that's going to be the number that I go with, 500,000. Any hobbies, sports you like to play / watch? I've heard you like pickles. Is this true? I just went on my big spiel about pickles. We all know how I feel about the pickles. As far as hobbies and sports, I don't really have any like hobbies per se. But as far as sports, I'm sure this might be shocking to a lot of you, but I'm a huge golfer. So like during the summer, so like spring, summer and fall, I try to go golfing at least. In a perfect world, I would go about 3 times a week. I love it to death. I could play golf 5 days a week. But that's really, as far as like sports, that's pretty much it. I just love golf. Always have. When will you bring back the random things and liquids for 30 days series? Okay, so I'm gonna spill the beans about the leaving things in jars for 30 days. So the reason that there hasn't been any of those for a while is because it's like that series just kind of got to a point where I'm not going to say I didn't leave everything in every type of liquid, but I did enough of those videos that I kind of reached a point where just things weren't happening and there just really wasn't anything interesting to see. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know. It just felt kind of stale. It seemed like the last 4 or 5 episodes of that I did, it was just kind of like, leave these things in this liquid, and at the end, nothing really happened, or very, very little happened, or maybe something happened to only one of the items, and all the other ones were pretty much just left unfazed. So it's just kind of, I don't know, just kind of fizzled out. There just wasn't really a whole lot left to do. Well, there wasn't. Let me rephrase that. There wasn't a whole lot left to do safely, because I could go the opposite, like the opposite of what I was doing, and start using like leaving things in like really like hardcore like acids and stuff like that. But I don't know enough about that stuff to be safe with it, because I know a lot of like really strong like acids and stuff, they put off fumes, and like obviously breathing the fumes can like really mess you up and like damage your lungs and throat and like all this stuff. I don't know enough about that stuff to do it safely, so it's kind of like not really worth the risk. And believe it or not, I'm sure most people won't believe this, but I do try to be safe for the most part. All right. Were your friends and family understanding of your YouTube channel? If so, how long did it take for them to fully understand what you do? And then under that comment, somebody responded and said, I've watched Tyler enough to know that even he doesn't fully understand what he's doing. That's completely true. I don't think really anybody understands. I mean, we're all like on a space rock flying through the universe, and there's like a big ball of fire in the sky that keeps us alive. So I don't really think anybody fully knows what's going on. But were my friends and family understanding of my YouTube channel? See, the thing about that is, I I'm one of those people that's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm not gonna if I have something that I'm working on or I have something that I'm working towards, I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. I'm not gonna say anything to anyone until it's done and finished. So as far as my friends and family, other than like one or two family members, nobody even knew that I had a YouTube channel or that I wanted to do YouTube or that I had anything going on until I posted the flex glue video, my first video that ever went viral. It got like over 4 million views. Once that video went viral and then I started getting subscribers, then I started to tell people that I was doing YouTube. So I just kind of don't really like most people's opinions on things, I guess. Because a lot of people, like if you tell people that there's something that you want to do, a lot of people will kind of like downplay it and not fully understand like what you're trying to do. So to me, I would rather just kind of like, I guess, just not hear that negativity and just do it and then show them when it's done, rather than like rather than have to hear their negative opinion and then go from there. If that makes sense. Like it's just kind of weird. I'd rather just work in silence and then if it works out and it's successful, then tell you about it after it's done. How can you hate pickles? They are so good. No, they are not good. We've already went over this. They are absolutely horrible. Are you truly the Walmart brand Project Farm, or are you actually the Dollar General brand Project Farm? Well, some days I feel like I'm more of like the Dollar Tree brand Project Farm. And some days I feel like I move up a little bit and I'm kind of the Walmart brand. But yeah, we're just kind of, I feel like we kind of do similar things, except for he's just like way more scientific than me, and I'm just kind of like, I just kind of just jump into it and see what happens. When are you going to do the 3-day survival challenge? When I hit 1 million subscribers. All right, what's your favorite YouTube video you've made? So, it's hard to pick a favorite because I've made so many of them and I love so many videos that I've made. But I think my number one pick for my favorite video has to be the electric hammer, because obviously I enjoy a good troll. You guys understand that. And that video I feel like was such a good troll, and it confused so many people. Like whenever I first posted that video, I probably got over 100 emails within the week that I uploaded that video, of people just being like, I need to get this for my husband. Where can I get this? I can't find this anywhere. I've been looking on the websites. I've searched everywhere. Where did you get it? Like, just so many people confused and didn't get the joke, and it just went straight over their heads, asking me where I got it. People DMing me on Instagram, like desperately trying to figure out what store I bought it from, how much does it cost, where can they get one, just all kinds of all sorts of confusion and people that just didn't get it. And I love that. It was so funny. I'd say that's probably my favorite one. What would you say is your favorite food of all time? Like above everything else. My favorite food of all time. I think it's got to be pizza. Because just about every food I get, like, if I eat it enough, I'll get kind of, sick of it and, not really want to eat it that much. Except for pizza. I could eat pizza every single day. And there's so many things that you can do with pizza. Like, for instance, you can put pineapple on it, which pineapple, to me, and I know you guys are going to get mad about this, but if you disagree with this, you're just wrong. I think a pizza is not complete unless it has pineapple. So whatever pizza you like, it should have pineapple on top of that. Like pepperoni, pineapple. If it's an all meat pizza, put pineapple on it. Pineapple is a must for me on a pizza. But I think that would be my favorite food, because I used to work at a pizza place like back in the day for like 4 years. And whenever I worked there, obviously I had access to pizza all the time, and there was always there would be like a mistake that got made, or whatever. And so I would have pizza so much. And then I would even make pizza like on my lunch break when I was there or whatever. So I ate so much pizza for so many years, and I never got tired of it even one time. And I'm still not tired of it. I could still eat it every day. So, and I think that's probably going to be pretty popular. Pizza is a very, very popular option. What is a video you've always wanted to make but never been able to do? This is a good question. And this is like completely not even my style of video, and not even really what I do, but it's like, just like deep in the back of my mind, it's a video that I've always wanted to do, where I've wanted to like essentially kind of like torture test vehicles, but not, I'm sure I say that and a lot of people are going to think Whistling Diesel, but not exactly like he does, because he just kind of destroys everything. But I've wanted to say, it'd be like me and say 4 friends, and say we wanted to figure out which pickup truck was the best. So we would get like a Toyota, a Chevy, a Ford, a Dodge, those are the main ones, but whatever. And each one of us would get into whichever truck we disliked the most. So like, I love Toyotas and I hate Fords. So like, I would drive the Ford truck. Somebody who likes Fords but hates Toyotas would drive the Toyota. And then the competition would be to see like whatever it is we were testing. Like say we were testing the transmission. We were trying to figure out which one had the most reliable or the strongest transmission. We would all switch vehicles, and you get into whichever one you dislike the most. And then the goal is to see whose transmission can last the longest. So like, see, if I was in a Ford, I don't like Fords, I'm going to torture it to death to try to make it blow up first. And then everyone else would do the same. Or if you were testing the engine or whatever. So just like something like that to like test trucks, cars, whatever, but just all of them to the absolute extreme. Or like have be able, like if you were going to test trucks, like have like test the towing capacity, and then so, like be able to be in a space where you could safely hook them to a trailer that's say like double whatever the max towing capacity is, and then have like a drag race, and then just like run it over and over and over and over, and then see like which truck fails first. I think something like that would be really cool, but obviously the budget for that would just be insane, and I don't have that kind of money. Are you still a diesel mechanic? No, I quit being a diesel mechanic. At some point in 2020, I think, is when I quit, and then to do YouTube full time, because being a diesel mechanic is the job that I was running away from because it was absolutely miserable and I hated it. And YouTube is obviously much better. Have you ever injured yourself behind the scenes when testing a product that you haven't talked about on your channel? And if you hate pickles so much, why do you always have so many around you? I've been watching your videos since 2019. I still look forward to your uploads each week. Thank you. Okay, first part. Have I ever injured myself behind the scenes when testing a product that I haven't talked about on my channel? Not really. I've honestly been pretty lucky so far, and I've not had any serious injuries. There's been a couple times when I've hurt myself off, like not even off camera, just on camera, and I just didn't say anything about it, and you guys didn't realize it. There was one video that I cannot remember what it was I was doing, but for some reason during the video, I needed to I needed to stomp on something over and over. I can't remember what I was testing, but I was doing a lot of stomping with with stupidly with just one foot over and over and over for the video. And the next day, like my whole foot just hurt for like a week straight. And it was probably, I mean, obviously in the grand scheme of things, it was a very minor injury, but it was super annoying. And I mean, honestly, that's probably the worst thing that's happened. Um, I think one time, maybe something else that was more annoying was I was doing something one time, and I think I cut like the tip of my pointer finger, or I burned it. I either cut it or burned it. And at the time, I was playing a lot of video games, and that was my clicker finger for the mouse. And so I had to play like with my middle finger, and that was super, super annoying, and I really hated that. But like outside of that, I haven't really got any injuries. What is the dumbest thing you have went to review and just decided it was too dumb? There there's not really been anything like necessarily too dumb that to test, but there has been a couple things that, or quite a few times where, like, say if I'm doing a 5 things from Amazon or whatever, there's quite a few times where I'll order like a couple extra things, and then one or two of the things I'll just kind of leave out because it's not so much that it's dumb, it's just kind of not good content. Like for instance, whenever I was just filming the drill attachment video, I had all the attachments you saw in the video, but I also had a water pump attachment, and I ended up not using it just because it's just boring, because it's, hook a hose to it, spin the drill, the water comes out. Not very entertaining. Not really. I mean, there's a couple tests I could do with it, but it's just not. It just, to me, it just doesn't seem like good content. Maybe I'm completely wrong. If that's something you would like, let me know, I guess. But I just don't feel like that's very good content, and it's just not necessarily worth putting in the video. But it's stuff like that. It's not really anything that's like too dumb. It's usually stuff that I buy that, like, I'll buy something at 3:00 in the morning on Amazon when I'm 3/4 of the way asleep, and then it'll get delivered, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, why did I get this? That was kind of a dumb idea. I didn't need this. It's usually stuff like that. It's not really that it's too dumb. What do you do when you're not filming? Well, when I'm not filming, I'm either doing emails, talking back and forth to sponsors. I am planning the next video. I'm planning the next video, getting ready to film a video, or I am just being a complete degenerate and just watching YouTube videos, just over and over and over and over and over, and just really just wasting time. That's pretty much really all I do. What kind of music do you listen to? Really, about anything. More like, I lean more towards like rock type of music, but I mean, really, it just kind of like, if it's very random. Like if I just hear a song and if it's a good song and I like it, then I like it. And it could be from like any genre. It's just something about it whenever it hits my ears. If it just like something clicks and I like it, then I like it. It's just kind of random. Will you ever do the new Flex product? I assume that you're talking about the super glue, which, yes, I absolutely am going to test the super glue. It's just a matter of when, because in their commercial for the super glue, they say it holds like I forget how many thousands of pounds. I got to figure out how I'm gonna test it because I can't. I don't really have the space to do what they did, where they like picked up whatever it was, 4 or 6 thousand pounds of like cinder blocks and stuff. I had to figure out a different way, but I am going to test it at some point in some way. Whatever made you get into diesel mechanics before YouTube? So the reason I chose to be a diesel mechanic, to start with, was one, just because it's a very like stable career. It's not really a job where, like, say if you go to like the pipeline or the oil field or like whatever, where you kind of get laid off here and there and stuff like that. It's a very steady career path. There's tons of work out there. You can do it. There's a million different shops all throughout the country. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. So that's pretty much why I chose it, just because it's steady work. It's a safe career path, and the money's pretty decent. But little did I know that it is absolutely miserable, and it is one of the most thankless careers that you'll ever do in your life. And if depending on who you work with, they can make the working environment insufferable. All right, here we go. Is the email thing legit or a hack? So I'm assuming that you are referring to whenever I made a community post asking you guys to sign up for an email list. So here's the backstory with the email list thing. Everyone thought I was being hacked and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So I was going through my YouTube analytics, and I saw that only, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think only 20% of my views were coming from notifications. So that's obviously extremely low. So I was trying to come up with a way to, like, instead of relying on YouTube to send the notifications, I could send the notifications myself. And then by doing that, hopefully during that like first 1 hour when I post a video, which is like very crucial for the algorithm, so I could send my own notifications, and then during that first hour, get more views during that hour. And then that would obviously make the video get more views overall, and then make everything grow, and everything would prosper and be great. But what I run into is that, one, nobody wants to sign up for an email list because everyone thinks that I was trying to everyone thinks you're trying to steal their information or hack them in some way or whatever. So that's a big roadblock for one. But then the second giant roadblock is that for some reason, sending bulk emails is incredibly expensive. So for instance, I don't remember the exact number, 750-ish thousand subscribers. So if 10% of you guys signed up for the email list, that would be, you can make fun of me for being bad at math, that'd be 75,000. So in order for me to send, and I post 4 times a month, so to send out, what's that? 75,000 times 4, that's 300,000 emails. So to send 300,000 emails a month, it was going to cost me I think it was going to be close to $7,000 or $8,000 a month to send bulk emails. So it's just incredibly expensive. And also my first idea before the email thing was to do it through text message, because I feel like the emails would probably just go to a spam folder, or people just wouldn't see them. But if they got a text message, maybe that would be a better way to notify somebody of a new video or whatever. And for to send text messages at that level, it was even more. It was close to, I think, double or triple the cost. It was just insanely expensive. So I just kind of scrapped both ideas, and I haven't come up with a better solution. Spaghetti or meat? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Spaghetti or meat? Do I like spaghetti or do I like meat? You know what? I'm just going to say yes. I'd like to learn about engines since I got myself a truck. What would be the best way to start learning? Well, the best way to learn not only about engines, but about anything that you want to learn about on this planet is the platform that you are currently watching this video on. Whatever kind of, you didn't say what kind of truck you have, whatever kind of truck you have, I promise you, anything that you want to know about that truck, you can find on YouTube. And if you can't find it on YouTube, I promise there is a forum or something, a Reddit thread, something somewhere on the internet that you can find the information that you're looking for. But like I said, not even just trucks or engines or anything that you want to learn more about in life, you can find it on YouTube. It's all there. If you want to learn, you can learn how to tear down your engine from top to bottom from YouTube. You could probably learn how to build a rocket ship just from YouTube videos. I mean, the information and stuff that's on YouTube is incredible. You can find anything that you want to know. There's no excuse for a lack of knowledge, especially in 2023 when you have Google and YouTube at your disposal right on your phone. Do you like pineapple pizza? Yes. I actually just went over this. Pineapple belongs on pizza. A pizza is not complete unless it has pineapple. What is your most unpopular opinion? I mean, probably my opinion on pickles, to be honest. That seems to upset so many people when I say that. Or maybe my opinion that I like pineapple on pizza. That could be more offensive than not liking pickles. But one of those two is probably my most unpopular opinion. When did you decide to take YouTube serious? I decided to take YouTube serious whenever I decided that I could no longer stand going to a job every day. Whenever I was a mechanic, I would show up to work and it's just weird because I would show up to work and I would clock in. I'd punch the time clock. And every single time I would show up and I would punch that time clock, the only thing that was going through my head was no matter how hard I work, no matter what happens, this time clock is going to control my quality of life and how much I get paid. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so far I can go. And no matter what, this time clock is controlling my quality of life and how far I can advance through life. It's being controlled by this time clock. And it was it was just irritating me so bad that I had to find an escape. And luckily YouTube worked out and that was the escape from that. And now I can be my own boss and do whatever I want all day, which is exactly what I want. I really, really, really value freedom. I would much rather make less money and have more freedom than make more money and have less freedom. That's just how I am. And freedom is it's invaluable. There's no price you can put on it. There's also no price, at least to me, that you can put on not having to answer to anyone. The fact that I can wake up, if I want to wake up at noon, I wake up at noon. If I want to wake up at 3 in the afternoon, I wake up at 3 in the afternoon. And there's nobody that I have to answer to. There's no, oh, why are you late? Why are you doing this? Why haven't you done this? Why, blah, 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 blah. There's none of that. I just wake up and do whatever I want. And that to me, until you've It's just amazing. I can't even describe it. Your eating habits. Were you not exposed to certain foods when you were younger? Like, is that the thing I had in that video? Hummus. I don't know what that is. It's like that dip stuff. I don't know exactly what that is. Or pickles, or are you a really picky eater? I'm not a picky eater. I also wasn't really exposed to that much, I don't guess, but I'm not really picky. I'll eat most things as long as it's not gross. Um, there's just a lot of things that are gross. All right. Have you ever pooped your pants? If so, explain the circumstances and your/others' reactions. Now, luckily, there was nobody around and it was just me, so there is no reaction but my own, thankfully. But it has happened one time, and I can't believe I'm even telling this story. So here's what happened. I was filming a video, and in that video, I had grapes in that video. Or I had a video where I needed grapes. I think maybe it was the video where I was dehydrating food for I think I dehydrated it for 30 days maybe. But anyway, I had grapes, and I bought a big bag of grapes, but I only needed I think maybe a handful or just a couple for the video. So afterwards, obviously, I had this giant bag of grapes, and grapes aren't usually something I eat. But so I had the bag, and I was watching YouTube videos or whatever, and I was sitting, and this was at nighttime, like maybe a few hours before I went to bed. I ate the entire bag of grapes, just ate the whole bag, and then just went to bed. And then this was whenever I was still working as a diesel mechanic. So I went to bed, woke up the next day, and didn't feel weird. Nothing felt out of the ordinary. Everything just felt normal. Nothing. I had no suspicion whatsoever. So I get up, I go in the kitchen to make breakfast. I'm standing in the kitchen in my underwear, and I think that I feel a fart. So next thing I know, it's not a fart. It's all liquid, just down my legs into the floor, just all liquid. And I was just standing there when it happened. And I'm looking around and I'm like, is this really happening to me right now? And that was that. And luckily, nobody had to experience that but myself. So that was tons of fun, as you could imagine. Chevy, Dodge, or Ford? Or Chevy, Ford, or Dodge? Neither. Toyota, all the way. I am a huge Toyota person. My car is Toyota, and my truck's Toyota. And I will probably never own anything besides a Toyota because I've never had a problem with them. And so let me also put this out there. I've owned 2 Jeeps. I owned a 1990 Jeep Cherokee, a 1995 Jeep Wrangler. Both of those just absolute piles of garbage. 2 of the worst vehicles I've ever owned in my life. Non-stop problems, just horrible. Then I owned a 97 Chevy truck that nothing but problems. I mean, just horrible. And then I bought my car that you guys have seen in videos, the one that I pulled dents out of and whatever. That's a 99 Corolla. And that thing is an absolute tank. And I myself have put over 150,000 miles just myself, because I think I bought it with 150. I think I've put about 150 on it, and now it's sitting at like 299 something. It's only like 600 miles away from hitting 300,000. And literally, and I've owned it for more than 10 years at this point, I've only put gas, oil, brakes, and tires into that car. That's it. It's never left me stranded. It's never broke down. Nothing has ever happened with that car ever. It's been nothing but reliable. and it's been amazing. And then I have my Tacoma, of course, and it's a little bit newer, but no problems with it either. Everything's been fine. So I am thoroughly a Toyota person. Have you ever cut yourself while making a video with a knife? I have, but it's never been anything bad. I mean, just like little, I think I've like nicked myself a couple times, but nothing that really, I don't think I've cut myself anything more than like I guess what you'd consider a really bad paper cut or something, but no, other than that, not really. Joshua asks, what does breakfast, lunch, and dinner look like for you? So, I'm sure this is probably going to shock a lot of you because I'm sure most of you probably think that I just eat like dino chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, and I don't know, some other type of junk food, and fast food, and that's probably all that I eat. I actually eat super clean, and I actually take my health very serious. So I'm sure that'll shock a lot of you. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is what I have 99, probably 97% of the time. This is what I'm having during a day. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have a protein shake. And then with that, if I have them, I will have 2 bananas and an apple. If I don't have those, then I just don't have those. And then for lunch, I'm going to have 1 pound of some type of meat, whether that is turkey, steak, elk, maybe even sometimes bison. And then I'm going to have rice and some type of vegetable, usually asparagus or broccoli. And then that's going to be lunch. And then dinner is going to be the same thing, except for I'll like say if the 2 meats I'm eating at the time are turkey and steak, I'll have, say, turkey with rice and vegetables for lunch, and then for dinner, I'll have steak, rice, and vegetables. And I'll have 1 pound at lunch and 1 pound at dinner. And then that's pretty much it. And then throughout the day, I just drink water, and that's a full day of eating. Just very, very clean and simple. And easy. That's the big key, is that everything that I eat is easy, just simple. Cook it, eat it, done. Why do you never open the garage door, even when dealing with awful smells and contamination in the air? Well, the main reason is that there is a light that is up in the rafters, and the light kind of hangs down a little bit below the garage door. So if I'm going to open the garage door, I have to get up in the ceiling and move the light and then open the garage door. So that's kind of just annoying. But 2 is that I almost always film at nighttime. Well, actually, probably 99% of the time I'm filming when it's dark outside. So I don't want to open the garage door, especially in the summertime, open the garage door with all the light that's in the garage and then have all the bugs just like hoard inside the garage. And then that would just be an absolute nightmare. And then also if I open the garage door, then all the neighbors can just see inside the garage, and I don't know. I just don't like that. In the future, will you test more things from Dollar Tree or potentially make it into a series like Wish? Potentially, because here's the thing with Dollar Tree. The testing things from Dollar Tree is kind of like there's not a whole lot to test. Like when you go I did the video where I tested the 5 things from Dollar Tree. I think I tested like a glue, a tape, a couple other things. But other than that, there's like inside of a Dollar Tree, there's not that much stuff you could really like test. It's just like most of the things inside of a Dollar Tree are just like name brand stuff that is like the quantity is just shrunk down to like $1's worth. So it's just like cleaning supplies and paper towels and like some cheaper like drinks. There's perhaps some like food that maybe I could test or something, but there's just not a whole lot like inside of a Dollar Tree to test. So that's why I haven't really done it, because there's just not that much. Do you believe in aliens? P.S. You should shave your beard for a YouTube video and have some type of experiment over a 30-day span. I will not be shaving my beard for a YouTube video. And do I believe in aliens? Of course. Who else do you think built the pyramids? Hobbies outside of making YouTube videos. Golf, which I already talked about. Does anyone help with your videos, editing, staging, or do you do it all solo? So it's pretty much just me, and then I have an editor. But as far as like setting the videos up, or obviously buying all the stuff, or coming up with all the ideas, and all that stuff, and filming and all that, that's all me. And then I just send all the footage to my editor, and that's it. Do you put the milk before the cereal? Of course. How else am I supposed to know how much milk I need if I don't put the milk before the cereal? I mean, is there any other way to do it? Does anybody do it the other way? Because if you do, that's like kind of weird. What kind of camera do you use? I currently use a Canon EOS R, which the link for that is in the description. Well, actually, I use 3 cameras. I use a Canon EOS R as the main camera, like what you're looking at now. And then I have a side camera that is a Canon 80D, and that's like a second view. And then I have the top-down view that you see, and that is a Canon Vixia HFG40. But hopefully, pretty soon I'll be upgrading at least the main camera to a EOS R6 so that I can have 4K 60 frames per second. And then if I like it, maybe I'll get 2 of them. All right, last question. What videos do you scrap? Okay, I don't really scrap anything. There's been, I don't think, oh, you know what? There has been, I'm going on, I think, my 5th year of making YouTube videos. And there's only been, I think, 1 video that I scrapped. Possibly 2. But I know of one for sure was, I was going to make this video where I was going to take, if you guys remember, there was like a little phase on YouTube where people were taking aluminum foil and like packing it down into a ball and then like sanding it and polishing it and making it shiny. And I was going to try to do that, but I was going to try to do it with the rock tumbler. And I got a bunch of aluminum foil and like packed it all down into a ball and like hammered it all and made it into a ball. And I put the aluminum foil into the rock tumbler, and I let it go for, I think, like 2 weeks or something. And it was just like, I could just tell it wasn't going to work. It was just going to be like after 2 weeks, I think it's just like, I could just tell it wasn't like sanding it down or polishing it. It was just like shredding off the layers. Cause I don't know, I guess it was too aggressive or whatever, but so I ended up just scrapping the whole video. But other than that, there's not much that I scrap. And this isn't what you asked, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. A lot of people have asked for bloopers videos, and it's the same thing with bloopers. There's not that you don't see blooper videos from me because there's really not any bloopers. There's not much that gets cut out of the video, and especially if there's something that's blooper worthy, like I screw something up, do something funny happens or whatever. It just gets left in the video. There's no like, I don't do something, and like if I do something that makes me look stupid, I don't cut that out and redo it to try to make myself look good. I just leave it in because it's just raw, and that's what happened. And I mean, I don't care if people laugh at me. I think it's funny. So that's why there's no like blooper reels or anything. It's all just gets left in the video. So I'm sure this video is plenty long enough. Thank thank you guys for all of your questions. If you guys enjoy this video, maybe I'll do like a monthly Q&A, or maybe the next one I'll do a live Q&A, or who knows. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll probably go through and answer a couple of them. See you in the next one.